Good evening, everyone. T-Speak at 222 XRP Future Millionaire with a side bet on XLM and Future Digibite OG. So, guys, this is one of two spots it could bounce off of right now if it holds the 85 line, or we're looking to see if it holds the 78. I would highly advise, like I told you the other day, if you're going to take a chance on this, me personally, if I'm taking a chance on this, it's not right here. It's just, this isn't it. The possibility that it can go to 78 cents is real. Lachey, I understand that back in May it went to 78 cents, but we're talking about on the drop on this pattern to double bottom and reconfirm. That's my line of thinking. But you are absolutely correct. We already have double bottom. And Rusty, so it'd be more like a triple bottom or quadruple bottom, but I'm talking about the double bottom within this formation, this current formation in the last 24 to 72 hours. So, Rusty, why do you think bottom on this? And I'm giving Rusty, because he's an OG of the OG of the OG of the motherfucking OGs. And when he asked me a question like this, I would rather, instead of typing it, I would rather answer it so he understands. Why do you think bottom on this pattern is 78 cents versus 65 when 65 is the spot that hasn't doubled yet in it? Okay, so to answer the first part, I don't think 65 or 78 is the double bottom. I'm talking about the double bottom on the current formation within the last, 48 to 72 hours, like I'm saying to Lachey. I'm talking about the double bottom within this formation. If we break this double bottom or can't hold 85 cents right now to confirm we're going back to this current formation in the short-term double bottom, 78 cents, that's where I have my eye on, because if we break through that, then we go back to the real double bottom of 65 cents. 65 cents may be the only spot I buy back in and try to bounce off of. I may not even be interested in 78 cents because of the volume. At any point with this kind of volume, it can fall off. So, and then you said 65 is bottom and we need to hit that for the spike. Yes, and that's what I am thinking too, Rusty. But there's always the chance that you get a manipulated pump when we get down to these thresholds. That's why you have to take into consideration what Lachey is saying, because she's right. It's already hit 78 twice. But what I'm saying is generally you double bottom within the pattern before you take a big bounce up, because why else would you have dropped this far down? So I'm looking for that double, the double tap of 78 get rejected, after a small gain, and then we ultimately end up at 65. And then do we get a nice bounce off of there, because 65 cent is right around 22 cent Doge, and that's where I think I'm going to buy and get the big bounce. And then it'll sell off, at maybe 30. And then when we get down to that 10, 12 cent, oh, baby, we're going to get like 150, 200% easy. Right, immediately before it falls off again. So there's many layers. And then I have a change, guys. So go back to commodities. I was in Fortuna Silver Mines. It did not pay a dividend. So I was investing into their future. Now I have become a business owner in a sense. So I made a business decision. Sold out Fortuna for about a $72 profit. And I put that money in to B2 Gold when it was at $4.92 or $4.94, I think the average was. Got 437 shares. But I've invested into a business opportunity. So now I've started a business transaction. Because B2 Gold pays a 3.35% dividend that was just raised from about 1.8% the past couple years. So now you have to put some serious consideration into throwing, if you're going to buy commodities. So I went from having speculative and Fortuna Silver Mines to, a cash yielding business opportunity, because my money now, I don't need to worry about it going up and down. I'm making a 3.35% dividend on B2 Gold, and we're going to get into that mindset as well. We have to start doing it from a business end. How much does it pay me? How much do I have to invest to where I don't have to work anymore? So now I'm making 3.35% on about $2,200 on my annual dividend. So I'm gonna teach you guys how to do that, because I'm hammering it in more and more between my brother and Robert Kiyosaki and Peter Schiff and everybody else. I'm letting it hit my brain even more and more and more. So that's why I made the educated decision. I wanted to do it before, but I wanted to wait for Fortuna to have a bounce. And then I waited. I sold Fortuna at 682 when B2 Gold was right. It was at about 490 something. It had to bounce down because it was up here. I didn't buy it because I seen the pattern. Waited. I didn't get it all the way down here because I had to wait for Fortuna to get up. By the time it got up to 490 Or at 692, this was at about 494. So I'm about 494 cost average, which I don't even care about the cost average. But, so what we're talking about here, like I said, this is either going to be a bounce point. If it holds, it has to hold this though. With no volume, it's going to be tricky. But then you go to the double bottom. So some people are buying this right here because they say, all right, this is where it's holding support. Some people are saying we're coming down to the double bottom of this formation, even though it technically would be a triple bottom like Lachey says, which is absolutely true because in May we did hit this bottom once. And then some people like myself won't even touch it till we get here likely with XRP. Even though out of any of these bounces, you could do something like that. But if you coil up all the way to here, you're more than likely going to test even higher because you have a bigger rebound. But it doesn't even matter. That's not the point. The point is why I wouldn't play these is because unless we go farther down, or we're likely looking at, in this pattern, to me it looks like it's got to finish and touch down at 78 cents again. That's just me. 78, 79, 80, 81, anywhere in there. But then, furthermore, I think this is just trapping more people. Hey, this should be the bounce spot where we bounce, but there's no volume. Yes, no volume could be in rising price or falling price. That could be, the devil's advocate. That could be our perfect storm where we hit a perfect spot. Hey, we have no volume, which means we don't have enough sell volume to push us down any farther. Absolutely, and that could be your bull flag or your bull sign, but it's more than likely we're going to roll over even more to find more volume. If we don't, this would be your spot to jump in for your first try. I'm not touching it. Your second try would be 78 cents, which is where I told you to try it the last time because I said this is where most people would buy and it was going to fall through. Go back in my recent database. And I'm going to leave you with the same exact thing I would tell you before. We have, like I said, I drew that right there. People don't have to believe me, but when we move into the 1 minute, you can see what I've done. I know what I'm talking about. I know where the bounce spots are, and I know what to look for in the formation. The fact that it created a W there leads me to believe that it's going to go sideways and up. We'll get to 88 cents, get rejected by the top side support, and then come down to our true support at 79 cents. But actual true support now is 65 cents if we want to be anal about it. So I see nothing more than something like this come back down. So stay true, stay blessed. If you want to join Tom's Army, $9.99 a month, keep me here full time and show your support. If you want to donate, links in the description. Besides that, I'll update you when needed.